Yeah, having a toxic family member can be detrimental because family is supposed to be defined by love and support, not stress and not drama. That's a dysfunctional family. Family is defined by love and support. Not getting the love and support from family members is a betrayal of the highest order. And if left unaddressed, could haunt someone for the rest of their lives. You got people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s boo-hooing because they didn't have a close relationship with somebody in their family.
Oh, yeah.
And they questioning it still to this day.
That's a pacifier. That's a bomb.
Because a person who loves you want to see you doing good. Whether you with them or not with them. Even if we fall out, I want to see you do good if I love you. Us falling out don't change nothing about how I love you. We just not getting along right now. We not seeing eye to eye right now. But if you need me, I'm there. Because I love you. And I just want to see you doing good. You got some people in your family, can't wait to hear bad news about you. They live for it. Waiting for you to fall, man. They've been predicting your downfall since you was a child. And they waiting for you to live up to what they said and what they predicted. And they get mad when you get a benefit in your life because you're going outside of what they said was supposed to be your life. You were supposed to be in jail, prison. They were supposed to be talking at your funeral by now. 5 ways to deal with a toxic family member. What we're talking about are 5 things that you can do to deal with somebody who is a toxic family member. There are things you can do. So, number 1 thing, set clear boundaries for yourself and stick to them. The problem with toxic family members is not only that they know you well, but they exercise that knowledge regularly to get at you. If some family members know your secrets, that you got people in your family will take information that they have of you and use it and weaponize it against you.
Especially if you're doing good.
Yeah, they'll use your information to control and punish you. You got to be careful. I ain't talking about just your family members. I'm talking about us too. Not just them, us too, because sometimes we are them. Come on, man. Sometimes we are sitting waiting for somebody to fail, who we kept telling to get it together. Watch, and then you hear they went to prison. I told him.
I knew it.
I knew he was going.
I knew it.
I've been telling him. I've been telling them if he'd listen to me. We be guilty of it sometimes. They know where all the soft spots are. Clarifying a boundary is like adding an extra wall. Because when you set boundaries with people and then they break that and you reiterate that boundary, you put up another wall. You letting them know. So when they call you up and all they do is gossip about people, like, look, man, I'm not about to talk with you if you're gossiping. You put that wall back up. Look, man, I don't mind talking, but I ain't about to be sitting here gossiping. So you need to be super clear with yourself on not only what your boundaries are, but why. Why do you have these boundaries? Why do you want to tell that person, look, man, if you gossiping, I don't want to talk to you? Because it takes energy out of you. Talking about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. So when you get off the phone with them, you feeling uneasy. You feeling anxious. You might even feel depressed. It might not even, and if you ain't the type of person who can process that information, you're going to think you're depressed because it's you. You ain't going to link that conversation with that person with draining your energy. You're going to think you're depressed. But see, a person like me, if I start feeling like that, I try to pinpoint it. Like, dang, why am I feeling sad right now? What in the world? I started thinking. Because you ever do that when you lose something? Try to figure out where the last place you was at? That's what I do. I lose my self-esteem. Where was the last place I was at? You feel me? Who was the last person I was talking to? And I can pinpoint it to a conversation. And when I replay the conversation, that's what that's from. What they was talking about. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Now that sadness is gone. What's the why? Why do you have the boundary? I had a relative call me one time, man. I had to go to work the next day. I wasn't in that life no more, man. You know how sometimes when you get out the life that you used to be in, but you got some family members who are still in it, and they trying to really represent it like it's the best thing since pockets, and you done gave that thing up a long time ago? So you like, okay, y'all can have that. But see, they like, okay, do your thing. We're going to keep rocking this. until they call you up at like 3 in the morning. And you sleeping in the dead sleep, pick up the phone. Man, they gotta die right now, man. All of them gonna have to die. Come on, get up, get up, get up. Man, they just jumping, man. We gotta, huh? What you talking about? Come on, man. Come on, because especially if you ride and die. If they know it. Listen, people in your family, they not ride and die. They not ride and die. They ain't about that life. They playing games, but they know you are. And when they run into a roadblock, when somebody check them, when somebody tests they gangster, they want to call real gangsters. But you ain't got nothing to do with that. Your name ain't written on none of that. They call you up on the phone. Come on, man, it's time to roll. We got to get them. And I'm telling you right now, man, when family members should call me like that, because I feel like I'm a thorough person, I would get up. I would get up, man, put my shoes on, whatever, let's go. And run right out there. And it got to the point where I learned that is not how you help people. You are enabling. You are enabling that bad behavior. Because if you keep running to save them, they're going to keep calling you. So when I got that phone call, all of us, they got to die. We got to get them. Get up. Put your shoes on. Get your clothes. Come on, man. Half crying on the phone. Bro, I ain't going nowhere. I got to go to work in the morning. No, man, come on, man. We got to go, man. I need you, man. These dudes, man, they just jumped me, man. For real, I'm bleeding and everything. What would you do if I wasn't around? Because I got to go to work in the morning. And I'm not coming out there. And when I hung up the phone, I had to fight it, man. I had to fight it with everything in my body. Because everything was trying to tell me, get up, go out there. What if something happened to him? Get up. And I said, no, I resisted the urge. Because that would get me out there when I told myself no. I resisted the urge. And guess what? The next day, nothing happened.
If you would have went, it would have.
Guess what? The next day, he was all right. Guess what? The next day, he took his butt home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would have been out the house.
Yeah. You go out there and you go out there and catch a case. And don't see your bed again for the next 30 years.
And your lady started saying, where you going? Where you going?
Right. Right, man.
Will, you was at work that next day, right?
Oh, you see me at work today, don't you? That's the answer to that question. Shoot. Right. For real. 5 ways to deal with a toxic family member. Number 2, distance. Physically and emotionally. I mean, either emotionally or physically when I say distance, because physically isn't always physically possible. Especially if you live in a house with them. Or especially if you got to be around them all the time. But emotionally, we talked about it up here, emotional distancing, removing the gift of your presence from a relationship. And you can do that emotionally, even if you're there physically. Emotional distance involves cutting off the gifts you've been giving. What gift, you might ask? The gift of you and the gift of knowing anything meaningful about you. I'm not sharing information with you about me. That's emotional distancing. I'm going to live my life. Even if we live in the same house, I'm going to live my life and keep my business to myself, because every time you know my business, you use my business and weaponize it against me. Emotional distance involves cutting off the gifts you've been giving. What gift? The gift of you and the gift of knowing anything meaningful about you, like your interests, your goals, your secrets, or your memories. Those were things you previously shared with them, and they responded by repeatedly and maliciously using that information to hurt you. They have proven themselves undeserving, so you get to step off and stop the flow. Cut them off. Cut the pipeline off. Because the only information they can get about you is from you. You don't know how to quit. You don't know how to stop talking about my business? There ain't going to be no business to talk about, baby. You're going to have to make it up. You're going to have to make up the lies. It's okay to say you don't wish to talk on a subject or not answer a question. If you must speak to them, you can have friendly contact, which means keeping them at arm's length. Friendly contact is keeping a person at arm's length, which means when I'm around you, we can have conversations about you. We can be friendly, but we're not going to discuss nothing about me. But don't ask me nothing about me, because I'm not going to give you any information. But if you want to talk about you, because people who are toxic love to talk about themselves anyway. This is where conversations and emotions are purposefully superficial, pleasant, and all about them, since toxic people are usually all about themselves anyhow. 5 ways to deal with a toxic family member. Number 3, don't argue or justify. Because sometimes we got toxic family members and they get off on arguing. That's what toxic people do. They'll create an argument. They'll find something to argue about. There are people, man, who lay in the bed early in the morning and their feet ain't gonna touch that floor until they come up with some BS. First 10 or 15 minutes in that bed is going through their head how they can needle people in the house. Come on, man, some of us don't live in houses like that. Don't argue or justify. Battles need to be chosen carefully. Determine wisely what arguments and battles are actually for real need to go to war. Yep, you got to figure out which battles are usually for real need to go to war and which ones are drama and self-made fake emergencies. These emergencies oftentimes are false and solvable by themselves, but the toxic family member wants to puppet you into their mess. Wake up, man, it's time to get them. We got to kill them. Come on, come on, come on. Trying to puppet you into their mess. Puppet strings. You into some mess that ain't got your name written on it. That ain't got nothing to do with you, but might take your life or your freedom. Or you might have to end up taking somebody's life. Or it's something that ain't had nothing to do with you. And it's something that was silly and immature and could have been resolved the right way. But this person chooses to do it another way and drag you into that toxicity. Got to be careful, man. Yeah, it's okay to decline being sucked in. Conserve your energy for other things like your own goals and your own dreams. So by saying no to them, you're able to say yes to you. All right, 5 ways to deal with a toxic family member. Number 4, hold strong to yourself. Better learn how to depend on you. And you ask for God's strength to help you. Because you can't do it by yourself.
Amen.
Can't do it by yourself. And you better not give that power over to nobody. Nobody. I'm trying to tell you, hold strong to yourself. You need to be your own anchor and your own lighthouse. You need to be your own anchor. You know what an anchor does? It grounds you. So you ain't being pushed around. Blown over here, blown over there. You know what a lighthouse does, don't you? Guides you in the dark. When you want to know where the land is, you see the lighthouse. Oh! If that lighthouse wasn't there, it'd be total darkness. Be your own anchor and your own lighthouse. And even in anything other than you got to be God. I mean, that's the foundation. Having strong, solid sense of self means accepting and understanding that no one, including yourself, is perfect. And that you still know who you are regardless of missteps along the way. Yeah. I understand you can feel shame and guilt, but knowing yourself lets you know what to do about it. Or even if it's valid, because sometimes we feel shame and we feel guilt, and that's just some BS. That's just some BS, man. You only need the approval of yourself for yourself. All those degrading and mean things said by toxic people are usually projections of their own shortcomings that they aren't mature or wise enough to deal with. So a lot of the toxic people, yeah, big mama, granddaddy, a lot of them never took the time to learn something different. Because the old dog, you can teach an old dog new tricks. Did you know that? It's better to teach them when they're young because they can hold those habits for a lifetime, but you can train an old dog. Yeah, you can. So whoever said that was a doggone lie. Yeah. They instead do the cheap, cowardly move and dump their mess onto others. Their incompetence is not your fault nor your problem. 5 ways to deal with a toxic family member. Number 5, find support. Start learning how to stick to the people who show you love. And stick to the people who got your back, man. A lot of times, man, we jumping through hoops and doing backflips for people who don't care nothing about us. And they've been showing us all the time they don't care nothing about us. I'm trying to tell you. Because we got some family members so toxic, when you need something, They don't want to give it to you, but they'll give it to a stranger. Be glad to give it to the neighbor. You asked to borrow it.
Yeah.
You just wanted to use it to get something done. They gave it to the neighbor. No man is an island, and people work better together. Having and building that support net to catch you is important and even necessary. These are the people you know you can lean on when dealing with toxic family members. So these are people, when your family or your family member starts getting toxic, you got somewhere to go. And you got some people who they don't know your family like that. So you can go deal with them, and they don't have nothing connected with your family. So it's not a continuation of what you just left. They are the people you know you can lean on when dealing with toxic family members. Support can also come from a therapist or a support group. Healing and breaking away from abuse is a process that takes time. Healing and breaking away from abuse is a process that takes time. Be forgiving and patient with yourself. This journey will have you looking deep into your core and more closely at others. A breakage has to happen before you're able to start rebuilding and have the strength to do. So the thing is, you got to break away from people, because you can't change while you're still in the mess. Just give yourself permission to get away from the person. No one, including you, deserves abuse, and you are worthy of so much more. 5 ways to deal with a toxic family member. Number 1 is set clear boundaries for yourself and stick to them. Number 2 is distance. Number 3, don't argue or justify. Number 4, hold strong to yourself. And then number 5, find you some support. Good. Good. Y'all ready for that?
I wasn't ready for about it.
All right, that's what's up. Any questions, concerns, or comments?
Family and people in general.
Say it again.
As family and people in general.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Also self.
Yeah.
Able to say you real or whatever, you got to check yourself for your flaws before anybody else.
Yep. See, the only difference between self and family on this, you can't separate yourself and take a vacation from you.
Yeah.
You can take a break from them,
Yeah.
but you're going to be with you forever.
So you gotta check yourself.
Yep. Any other questions, concerns, or comments?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, I remember you told me last year, if your name is not on it, that's your problem.
Right.
And I ran into that, and I remember what you told me was, hey, what you told the class. It's not me. Say, your name ain't on it, don't worry about it. Because you got a problem, and you make their problem your problem. Now you have 2 problems. And I was in a situation like that where, thank you for that word, because it reminded me, I said, hey, that ain't no problem.
That ain't got nothing to do with
That
me.
ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah. My name ain't written on
Right
it.
in it.
Yep.
Hey, man, you know, that ain't
Yep.
my
Yep.
what.
I would have too.
Yeah,
I would have too. Yep.
No question that.
Yep.
I said,